What are you doing? Get off your phone. It's time for Yeah, I've played. What the fuck?
It broke.
All right. Episode number
5.
Yeah, good job.
Last time around, Ethan, I feel like I just like...
You're just releasing
a
air.
little fuzzy.
Last time around, Ethan had just completed the butterfly trial. Mm-hmm. It was a shocking good time.
You could say that it was. I was gonna make another like the results were electrifying.
They were.
And
I made it out unscathed, but
no, we both took a little
yeah,
jolt.
I got a little fucked up, and I was like, oh man, I don't want to fuck this up more.
you totally bridged the connection.
I don't want to die here.
Chapter 22 is where we're gonna pick up today. Chapter 22, The Nurse.
Hello, nurse.
I didn't say it, but I'm Matt Hall.
I'm Andrew Taylor.
I'm Jordan Hill.
And we are the nurses.
Imagine you go to the hospital and
we're the
these
three
guys
guys. I'm putting the IV in your arm as Matt's taking down your information.
and I'm just like, how are you feeling?
You're
Bad?
You're reading all the. You're hooking up the thing to her finger, and I'm just missing the IV over and over again.
Painful.
So, again, you're gonna treat Ethan's wounds. His wounds are even worse this time. I don't think you put... I said put the gauze on him. You don't put the gauze on him.
You don't put gauze on him the first time, no.
This time you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I like... This one's better because this time it's you leaning against the... Madison. You're Madison.
Yeah, you're Madison in this one. You see...
And you're like leaning on the balcony.
At the, hotel.
Yeah, and you turn around and you're like, Ethan's door is open. That's weird. And you like peek in like you're watching him in the shower again.
Yeah.
And he's just fucking face down.
She's like, I wonder if it's hot.
Yeah, he didn't even make it to the bed.
No, he's just fucking...
He was out cold.
He made it in the apartment this time, though.
He did into the hotel room.
Motel room.
Motel room.
Yeah.
So we're all fucking wrong. Other than that.
We're all correcting each other. Yeah, and he's fucked up, so you got to get in there and help him. Did you help him?
No, I chose not to. I chose to hurt him.
He pushed.
He was walking.
Punched him in his wounds.
You start pushing the glass that's stuck in his arm further into him.
One time in
I
high
don't know
school,
why they even let that happen, but yeah, I did.
it was a weird choice. One time in high school, Jordan was really sore.
Oh no!
And we used to torment each other. But Jordan had done a big leg workout, and his legs were just like he could barely walk.
I'd probably
Heard the
torn.
story.
Yeah.
And as you were going up the
We
stairs,
probably told it on here.
Yeah, we probably did. Me and our other friend Francis, we just started punching you as hard as we could.
I was
in the
almost
legs.
crying. I couldn't stand up.
Just like crumbled, like a building that was being detonated.
It's
like
funny because I think now like the fear of getting punched is something that could cripple you.
I wouldn't be afraid to get punched in the legs.
I think about that dichotomy a lot, where it's like in high school we did roughhouse a lot, and now like if you punched me in the arm at like half of the strength that we used in high school, I'd be like, why the fuck did you just do that? Like, I'd get angry, and I'd be like, that hurt, man. Like, that hurt. Don't hit me, please.
Meanwhile, that was like a greeting.
That was just how you're like, fucker. You know what I mean? And then like borderline full strength punch each other.
So, I mean,
punch me again.
We're gonna just describe the whole scene over again, but
Yes.
you put the.
I dropped him.
You can drop him.
I dropped him. I did as I was heaving him up onto the bed. I accidentally let go of the button.
You can fuck up while disinfecting his wounds. You give him the cooling gel for.
I did. I gave him the gel.
I forgot to go slow with the cooling gel for the burn, so I just went.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
At first, I grabbed the wrong thing, so I didn't. Yeah, thanks, asshole. I grabbed like the antiseptic or whatever and put that on his burns, and it was like, oh, that's not what I'm supposed to use.
I didn't have any burns this time.
Did you check him for fever?
I did.
You had a fever?
I checked
Oh,
him
you
for
didn't have any burns.
I didn't. So this is where I goofed.
I had burns because I got electrocuted.
Yeah.
I did not get any burns because I'm fucking epic at this game. But he did have a fever, but she grabs the ointment, and I was just assuming it was like triple antibiotic ointment. It didn't specify what kind it was. Maybe I missed that. So then I started applying
it's a cooling ointment.
Okay.
It said like apply to burns.
Yeah.
Where did it say that?
Like when you examine everything, it says
Because she runs and just grabs it all.
No, she just
and
grabs
puts
it
on
all
thing,
for
But then
me.
as you can select between medication, gauze, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
I guess earlier
But mine
when you're
just
first
said-
looking at everything is when you can see it.
I feel like it wasn't there at that point, or like it didn't give me
It
the option
definitely was
for it.
because I also saw the fever stuff and I remembered the fever stuff was there. And I was fucking mad
It's like only used in case of fever.
because he had a fever and I made sure to like I disinfected the wounds.
Yeah.
Put the shit on him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Then you gauze him up. You wrap him all up. You know.
You didn't give him the fever pill.
And I didn't have time to.
Right.
I finished wrapping up the gauze, and she's
he
like,
passes
"That's all
out.
I can do."
When he's not burned and you apply the burn cream to his wounds, I again assumed it was just triple antibiotic. He goes, "Oh," and she's like, "Oh, what am I doing?" She's like, "I'm putting burn cream." Like she almost like looks at the camera. She's like, "I'm putting burn cream on your cuts." And I was like,
children's
"Oh."
game.
I did the opposite. So
And I was like, "I'm the idiot." She's like,
Actually-
Madison looks at the camera.
you play nurse for a little bit, and he passes out, and you watch him sleep. And when he wakes up, so when he was asleep, I went into the box. You guys go in the box when he was sleeping?
No.
I never thought to go in the box.
I was
didn't,
like, I want Madison to know that he's the killer and to prove it. I want her to go,
I just sat.
origami figures, he has to be insane.
Right.
What adult man?
Has origami. This is
Does
preposterous.
origami in his shoebox.
Origami.
I feel like I didn't get to like search around in this.
Me
in this
too.
part.
Diorama.
I thought
Yeah.
it went straight to just like sitting.
For me, it
and
went
she was
straight
waiting
to
and
like
falling asleep.
For me, it went right to as soon as I got up, she went and sat down, and then waited for Ethan to.
Well,
my
I have
God.
my
Wake back
notes.
up.
When Ethan's asleep, I go in the box, and
Yeah, it's
Madison,
just- it's-
and Madison just goes.
it's wild
I
to
don't
see
know why he has
the-
that. Oh well.
Really? She doesn't.
She has a lot of things where she kind
Unfazed?
of just goes.
Well,
Oh, because I remember talking to him when he wakes up, but I don't believe I just did this last night.
When he
I
wakes
definitely
up-
didn't. Yeah.
you have the option. He's like, so why are you here? Like,
Mm-hmm.
because when she first goes to the hotel, she says something like, "Oh, I'm having insomnia," and then when I was, at some point also she goes to Ethan. I think when she first meets him, she goes, "Oh yeah, when I can't sleep at home, I go to a hotel.
I
It
only
helps me
sleep
sleep,
in-
and
yeah.
it's just sleeping somewhere else helps me."
She picks this motel.
Yeah.
But here he's like, "So what are you doing? Why are you helping me? What's going on?" And you could be truthful with him
Okay.
at this. It was one of the options.
I did
And
not choose
I
that.
threw my phone, but I have all my.
Jordan needs to get his notes.
Great ass.
I had been typing notes, so the game switched to keyboard input, and it like takes like 5 seconds maybe to like switch back over to controller after you activate the controller. So I missed the prompt, and she was like, "I'd rather not talk about it right now."
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
And I was like,
I hit-
"Oh fuck."
I think I hit like a void, and she, or maybe not. I think what she said in that moment was like something like, "I've just been through some bad stuff right now." Yeah, it was like not quite. It was like a void. Answer him, but don't give details.
Mine was I
Details.
selected had to, which was she's like, well, you didn't really give me much of a choice, did you?
To help him, or
Yeah.
as to why she was there.
Not to talk
Why
about
she was there helping him. I chose
Oh,
had to.
okay. All right, I understand.
Well, basically, Madison is like, "Well, can I help you? Like, seems like you're going through some shit. Like, every time I see you, like, you look like
You're
you're
pretty
about
fucked
to die."
up.
I was
Yeah.
like, what is it? Some sort of mafia thing? You owe somebody
Yeah.
money?
Yeah, he's
You
like,
don't look like a guy.
"No one can help me," even though you just helped him.
Yeah, even though you've actually you're maybe the reason he didn't die yet.
Yeah, twice now.
Yeah. So, but he's like, nobody can help me. And you're like, really? Because I'm kind of helping you.
So I get rejected. I leave, and Ethan's like, "Time to go to the next trial."
No, that is not. No, I had I had a bit more than that.
How would
Actually,
you have?
She mentioned Madison mentioned something about when I was a little girl in France, I used to pick pretty daisies. She said she used to patch her brothers up, her older brothers up when they would fight and get in scraps with the other kids.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I mean, yeah, she
When
said
she was
that
a kid.
when she was earlier.
Oh, okay.
But
But
at
at this
the end of
point,
the conversation, after he says like, "I don't want your help,"
I'm gonna go.
I think she at one point it switches because you play as Ethan as she like halfway through this. She asks him, unless this is at a later point. She asked him if he was the origami killer. Did you guys
might be
not
able
have
to,
that?
You might be able to ask that question or something, but I'm like, maybe
I don't even know if I prompted
maybe
it.
one
I
of the
think
I don't think
options.
so. She says, "Are you the origami killer?"
She asked him, yeah. Like I don't remember what she presented as the things that were lining
I think she
up.
said, I believe, because I've selected dangerous. She goes, oh, you must lead a pretty dangerous life. What are you? You know what I mean? Maybe it was one of those options where she's like, oh,
Are
what
you
is
the
it?
origami killer?
Oh,
or
are you the
something?
origami killer?
No,
you
she
weirdo?
says no. She literally says, Ethan, you're plastered all over all the news cases. They're talking about the origami killer. She says, is that you? And
Oh no, that's not right now.
is that later?
That's not
okay.
right
So there's
now.
more than.
No,
All right, my bad.
There's a time way later where he becomes the main suspect.
I believe in the chapter Fugitive
Okay.
Yes,
is
Which
when
is
was
at
when
the
that
end of
part
this
happens.
conversation.
All right. I blew it. Sorry. It's three
Okay.
different scenes that take place in the
That's
same
all right.
place.
That's all I was trying to say was, You offer to help him. He says, you can't help me. Madison leaves.
He like yells at you, borderline.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I was on the impression that after that, Ethan then goes, well, time to open the next thing and go to the next trial.
He does.
That's right.
Okay.
Indeed, he does.
Well, just a tiny detour, but we'll go to chapter 23. Police news.
Is that what it's called?
That's what it says.
Some of the names are like not as one of them is just called. One of the chapters was just lizard. Like,
Well, the lizard is the...
I got it, but I'm like, there's
Just
be
a
a
lizard.
little clever about it. You know what I mean?
Reptilian.
Well,
Surprise.
Each,
Barack Obama is this one. You know what I mean? Like,
well, they're each named after the origami animal.
that's true. There was the
Aminal?
butterfly one earlier.
The butterfly. The first one was
the origami
the
animal.
bear.
Yes.
The butterfly, the bear, the lizard.
The mantis shrimp.
I guess it's just. I guess it's just like.
beast.
I guess
the Wendigo.
the bear and butterfly. I guess have like potential other. I mean, I guess lizard does.
The
too.
cockatrice.
Right, bear could be like a... Well, you know, in homosexual culture.
As well as like
The
a bear
weaver.
stalk. You know what I mean?
Right.
And,
Yeah.
the
The
bear,
basilisk.
the bear and the bull. If you're a big New Vegas fan.
Anyway,
you know what I mean?
police news, chapter 23. The guy that we just arrested when we were Blake and Jaden, the guy who almost killed me.
He kicked your ass.
You're
What?
questioning
Hold
him.
on.
He's
What does
getting-
Norman sound like when he's getting his ass beat? Ooh, ow, yee.
Oh, wow, that's a big one. Oh, wow. Oh, no.
I gotta put on airy
I'm going to be feeling that tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Momo.
Stop hurting me, ow.
Stop hurting me, iDubbbz.
So you're
They're under a bridge. It's really weird.
he's in
Garbage everywhere.
He's in the fucking
intense.
police station
Sorry, I forgot
getting
about
questioned by Blake and Jaden and everybody, and he's like,
that. And there's this.
he's like, you're the fucking killer. If you weren't the killer, why the fuck did
who-
you run away when we came to talk to you? He goes, because I skipped a meeting with my parole officer. I didn't want to go
Yeah.
back to jail. It's like,
They're like, but you're the killer.
Because I believe it's like Blake and Jaden are like behind the glass, and there's just some beat cop, like uniform cop, yelling this at the fucking guy too.
it
Which is
makes
funny.
no fucking sense where it's like, well, I skipped a parole meeting, so I didn't want to go to jail. So what I did was,
Assault a police officer.
yeah, like I went on a crazy chase, incurred a ton of property damage, and then attempted to murder a police officer.
Even though the police clearly know my name and know where I hang out, so they know how to find me ostensibly.
He
you
has
know
a
what I mean?
record.
Also,
Yeah.
like,
He has a serious record.
I don't remember if he identified himself as FBI agent Norman Jaden, but
Yeah, I think so. Or
If he-
one of the guys did. I think
I think he said Norman
held up
Jaden
his-
FBI. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I think he holds his
on
shit
the
up.
street.
yeah.
An
I think-
FBI agent questioning you doesn't give a fuck if you skipped a meeting with your parole officer.
They could give a shit.
That's clearly related to
An
something
FBI
else.
agent could walk up to you like railing a line of coke, and you're like, "Oh," and he's like, "I really don't fucking care. I'm here about this thing."
Did you kill that
yeah,
kid?
it's like you'd be like, "I'll get you on this if you don't want to cooperate with me, but if you just talk to me, like
Yeah.
I don't fucking
I'll
care
leave.
what
And
you're
it seems
doing."
like someone who's like a criminal like him, who is clearly a criminal, would be like, clearly I didn't do anything. He would know if he did something that would be drawing the ire of the FBI. And so yeah, you miss a fucking meeting with your parole officer. Yeah, it's not good.
No, but
You're
I
not
don't
going to
think-
call in the fucking FBI.
No.
Mr. President, he missed another meeting. Oh my God.
Send in SEAL Team 6.
What do we do now?
Where's Chris Kyle?
You guys aren't doing a good a Biden.
I forgot who the president was.
I don't know how to like talk like him.
It's like this. Come on, man.
Oh, come on, fat. Come on, fat. What do you want to do? Come on, fat.
I don't want to make fun of a man who stutters. That's what I was starting to do, and I was like, I don't want to.
Does he stutter?
I didn't
Yeah.
even know he stuttered.
I-
I only heard about the stutter after people started making fun of him. It's like, you know why people are making fun of him is because he says stuff like, "Oh God, hey man, remember I was fighting with Corn Pop down at the swimming pool? Oh man, if you don't vote for me, you ain't a black person." And it's like that's what they're making
They're
fun
like,
of. Is
"What?"
he says,
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh,
I never heard anyone make fun of his stutter.
He's
No, I know.
at a podium just saying these things.
I think it was people saying that he couldn't speak in public well. He wasn't good at speaking in public, and they're like, "Well, he has a stutter." And
I know
if I
people
can
with
be
a stutter who
honest
can
with
still
you,
speak in public.
I don't know if he has a
Despite
stutter.
No, well, I also there's
I have no
this
idea.
isn't the
I feel like
Biden
you're making it
conspiracy
up.
hour, but the number of times I've seen him go in public and then just like turn toward a wall, look confused, and then be like, huh? And then someone goes, we're going to take over here now.
Yeah.
It's like, I think that's more the issue than the stutter. But
That's
who
what I
knows?
mean. That's
Who
why I don't think
knows?
it's a stutter. I think his brain is degrading.
It's all right.
And the synapses aren't firing anymore.
It's all right. Well, back in 2010, it would have been Obama.
As red dots are appearing on all of our foreheads while we continue
I
the
need you
conversation.
to send out big
Several.
team, several teams.
you gonna get
several
Darren?
teams. If you can get a hold of Chris Kyle, he's a good guy. Knows how to get people from far away.
He's dead. He's already dead.
He was already dead? I don't know anything about Chris Kyle.
He's
They
a
like
good guy.
killed kids in Iraq or something, and they made a movie about him.
Good movie.
About killing kids in Iraq.
I can't answer this call right now. I'm watching Donnie and Arnold.
As this is going on,
Watching
Grace
Markiplier.
from Grace Under Fire comes in. Oh, wait, no, Grace Mars.
Grace Mars is right, yeah.
I was fuming at home. I was fucking fuming. I was like,
She says she wants to speak to Lieutenant Blake directly. Mm-hmm. And she basically says, like, Ethan came in one night before one of the disappearances, and he was unannounced. He just, like,
Just 3 a.m.
came in soaking wet, talking about drowning. And she was like, that's weird. And then the next day, there was another disappearance. And the thing that really stuck with me throughout this whole thing is, so you're Grace, and I'm Blake, and I'm at my computer taking your statement.
got me, Jaden?
Oh, he's
Yeah,
just
but
slapping.
This is how I type.
Yeah. While
this is-
looking
this
at
is-
her, yeah, like
This is usually how you stand behind someone too.
yeah, usually.
So like this is the scene. You're a grieving mother talking to this cop.
I'm gonna get this fucker.
And then Norman Jaden.
I'm doing it. Don't worry.
Oh, you got it?
No, we're setting the whole scene.
She's like, find my son! You fucking hooligans!
One of the worst fucking looking scenes, and it's like it's got such emotional weight because she's turning on Ethan.
Yeah, I was fucking livid. If you could
Yeah.
read my notes, you'd kick me off the channel.
Are, what are you angry at her?
How dare she? What kind of a fucking wife is this? Like, you claim to have loved this man for any point of time, and then a horrible accident results in you and your son almost dying, and you go, I'm through with you. I don't give a fuck when you come out of this coma, I'm leaving you. And then you're like, okay, heard, man, I get it, kind of my fault my son died. And then you're like, I have horrible PTSD, as well as brain damage from this. I am talking to my psychologist about my blackouts, and now you're going to come and be like, I don't know, man, he's been acting weird since our son died, and I blamed him for it and left him.
Okay.
And now I'm like, I think you should go arrest him and ruin his life more. I know he's literally living in a motel room right now. I want you to go take that from him and blame him for the death of our... I want you to make my ex-husband kill himself if you can.
Maybe she thinks he's the killer.
I think
She's worried that he is.
I think she's a dumb bitch.
You're
I'll put
frustrated
that on
that,
record.
that she's not sensitive to his...
She seems like one of the least empathy. Like, she seems like she has, like, I get they both lost a son. They're both having a hard time. No empathy, no compassion.
Yeah.
Like, in her mind, this man who was once her loving husband, who they had 2 children with, is now just this heartless monster who she's like, overnight that happened.
It is a coincidence, but I think I see what you're saying. It seems like a jump. It is a little like, okay, what was he doing? But also, he's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And he's mourning, and his brain's
And he's
fucked
admitted
up.
to his psychologist having blackouts.
Well, the
blackout.
psychologist trying to keep that all secret.
He does a good job.
We did mention the guy. His name's Corda, the criminal.
Corda?
Oh, okay.
Korda.
But his first name was like Mikhail or something like that. If I remember right.
I'm just going by what the wiki says.
Oh, okay. It was
think
like
he had-
Mikhail Korda or
I
something.
thought Corda was his first name, and his last name was a lot more
Maybe that's what it was.
ethnic.
Hey, I'll bet that we don't fucking know either way.
but I bet you. You know what I
Yeah,
bet?
a lot more ethnic than Corda.
You know what I bet? I bet it doesn't. I bet it doesn't matter.
No, it does matter because
Why was that so loud?
In chapter 24, this is another one that I go, what? I had to double check this one. This chapter is called Shrink and Punches.
Very normal.
Now remember the chapter, one of the earlier chapters, may have been chapter 5 or 6. It was called The Shrink. This was
Shrink.
We returned to the Shrink's office with his giant ego statue.
But this time, baby, we brought punches.
That seems like it's like
Shrink and
it
Punches.
seems like it's trying to be like a Max Payne like cigar smoke and whiskey breath, but it's like instead it's doctor's office banana slip. Like it's not doesn't have the same
Nerd gets beat up. Office.
Yeah.
So
That's better.
Blake and Jaden are obviously trying to go, well, hey, we heard that Ethan Mars is crazy. We know you're his shrink. Tell us what's up. And he's like, I've been bound to an oath of secrecy.
Why
I
the
can't tell you
why the
anything."
fuck? Like he's so weird about it. And maybe like why didn't they just because like
He's an asshole about it. He
because-
can't say
because-
like, look, like legally I can't.
but-
Like if you guys had, you know,
you could just say
a warrant
guys
or something,
guys
or,
patient confidentiality
like
doctor patient confidentiality.
What's it called? Like when you have like a
It's
A warrant?
no.
No, but there's someone's in like direct danger. You know what I mean?
Suspicion?
Like there's like reasonable suspicion.
Yeah,
or
but
whatever,
there's a legal
Subpoena?
thing. Subpoena. Yeah, you could subpoena him for the information. It's like there's.
You can sub my pena.
He could say something along the lines of like, I need to maintain my integrity as
a professional.
yeah, and like we have to do this by the book. You know, instead he's like,
Yeah, I sworn an oath to
I'm
my
like, the psychologist is such a
slithering-
fucking like pile of shit weasel, and I'm getting really lit right now. And I'm using some very like aggressive language, and I apologize. I'll
He's
bring it down.
a
But
pile
I'm
of
like,
crap.
from like even from Ethan's perspective, I'm like, you do to a degree, like you decide who you go to for therapy. You know, I get that like in certain like especially in like a small town like wherein your options are limited. You know what I mean? But in a big city, especially, I feel like you do have a fair amount of options. You know what I mean? It seems like he's got a good job. I'm sure it's being covered or whatever by insurance, or even if it's not.
Being
yeah,
an
maybe
art,
this is the only place it takes his insurance.
Maybe it is the only place that takes his insurance, in which case totally acceptable. If not, like, why the fuck would you want to talk to that guy about your problems?
He's
Yeah.
like a supervillain.
Yeah.
He's so over the top.
like
in
with the
his,
weird
like,
shutters
scheming
and like yeah,
like
the
weird, like he has a weird, like you said, the
energy is
giant
just
ego
off.
statue,
Nah.
and he does seem very. It seems like he's meddling. Like, is this
Yeah.
guy the origami killer, and he's trying to build this up to frame it on Ethan?
I immediately got those vibes where I was like,
was like-
this guy is hiding something. 'Cause
Yeah.
He's too. Either he is completely socially inept, or he's hiding something.
Yes.
But
I have-
essentially,
I have met some like psychiatrists that don't seem to be on this planet. And I'm like, I cannot
Yeah,
imagine being your
I had a couple
patient.
psych professors that you were kind of like, maybe you need to see somebody.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And I don't mean that they're eccentric. They're just like, wow, I don't know if you exist within our agreed upon social
They took too
universe.
much acid trying to unlock the human mind.
Yeah. I don't understand how you console other people. But so there's about 2 lines of dialogue. And then Blake loses his fucking mind.
well, for me, it got dragged out a little bit longer. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I said
Blake
for
me,
does
it was very-
eventually just decide to rough him up. Because like what he does, he goes,
He's like,
he threatens him. He goes, I'll call the police or something. And
Yes,
he like picks
yeah.
the phone.
I'll call the police.
Blake like grabs the phone, slams it down, and starts like shaking him down. And Norman's like, I
He's
gotta
still
do
holding the
something.
phone.
I gotta intervene.
My favorite thing is like it's the same thing with Nathan earlier, or it was Nathan, right? Who you shot, or
Yes,
who you made me
Nathaniel?
shot? Nathaniel. Same thing as with Nathaniel earlier, where it's like, it seems it's so like, I get that like breaking up a confrontation is a difficult thing, you know what I mean? But every time
But he's
where
not
it's
even like, shut up, Blake.
yeah, he's
or
not,
Jaden.
yeah, like nothing. Sorry, but he'll be like,
fuck was that?
he'll be like, Blake, I don't know what you're doing. You guys, he won't even acknowledge that he's saying anything. Norman won't even yell or like, there's no option to become like physically involved until like this final time. But like, it's so fucking. I was like, why can't he's just Blake's the entire time just acting like you're not also there for the interrogation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For me, it got as far as he like basically threw him down and bloodied his mouth.
Yeah.
And then and I go, if you don't fucking stop this, I'm gonna report you and you're
Yeah.
off the case or something. Like, you
Yeah.
know, he basically, like, Jaden finally, like, spoke up and then, like...
By that point, he
as-
was repeatedly punching him for me.
Okay, I don't think
It's
he
different
actually started
for
hitting
each
him.
person. Yeah, he was beating him up. From
He was
because
slam- like-
I made a mistake where I was trying to explore the room a little bit, and I like leaned against the desk on one side as he like slams the phone down and starts choking him.
You're like, oh.
And then I was like, oh, maybe I can go around the other side and get at him because I was trying to like break up the fight by
Me too.
literally
I was,
getting
like,
in there.
trying to walk in between them.
And it wasn't. So
Means
like
nothing.
I went around to the other side of the desk, and at this point he has begun punching him in the face.
Yeah, he was
and
giving it to him.
And I walk up to the desk and I give a little cute little like sit down on the
little
desk
sit
like
down.
a secretary, you know what I mean? Like leaning back to talk to him. Made myself stand back up so I could do the I'll have your fucking badge. You know what I mean? Like,
So,
Initially, though, like when Blake is not listening to you at all, I did try to play it like I was trying to simultaneously calm Blake, but also like give him like I was trying to like good cop, bad cop. Like
Yeah.
Blake would be like, oh, you're fucking, and then I'd be like,
Right.
well, I don't know, we just really need help on this, man. What do you think? And they're like, oh, fucking goddamn.
Which is what I did too, because I just tried
I
to do the
started that
reason
way.
with / like
Which would be an effective tactic.
Yeah.
You're
But I
gonna
was
freak
hoping
out.
Blake would maybe be like, I'm gonna intimidate him.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
just beat the shit out of him. But anyway, as I'm like being like, Blake, you're crossing my line now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna freak out. Like before he can go anywhere, like it just camera cuts to the shrink and he's on the ground. He's like, Ethan's crazy. He's fucking crazy. And also, when he was in my office, he dropped a piece of origami.
Yeah, he said he'd been obsessed with drowning.
Yeah.
Or something. Doesn't mention the fact that, like, in my playthrough, I told him I'd been having blackouts and I wanted help and I was confused.
Yeah,
about it.
I-
Doesn't
I-
say
I-
that to the cops. This fucking prick.
He frames it in a
No, he
negative way.
basically like is like, actually, I had my suspicions he was the killer. Here's a piece of possible evidence. You know,
And it's
how it
also
comes
like,
off.
even for the psychologists, like to be like, when they come in and they're like, we believe your patient, Ethan Mars, might be the origami killer. And you're like, why should I talk to you about it? And then at the end, you're like, I also suspected he might be the origami killer. Like, did you want to
what the
solve it on
fuck?
your own? You know what I mean? Or are you the fucking like? It's so.
And
I hate him.
It was a frustrating.
Worst therapist.
Did you guys get the? I don't remember at what point during this interaction this happened, but like Blake turns on Norman and he's just like, "Oh, I guess you just want another kid to die, huh? You want to fucking die? You don't care if it's it anymore."
It's when it suddenly that gets interrupted for the
that's-
psychiatrist
okay.
to be like, I'll blame Ethan for this.
And I think we mentioned it earlier. When Norman has that outbreak where he's like, when he says, you're pushing it, I'm gonna report you. The way he delivered that line, the way he said that, made me fucking laugh
There's
so
a point
hard.
like way late in the game where he goes, Blake, you're a psychopathic asshole. And it's like,
And it's not to, again, we talked about it so much in the first couple episodes, so
when
it's
he
not
gets-
worth
he
it.
gets-
Like,
he gets pushed over the edge more and more as the story goes on.
Yeah.
Jaden, and it's just like,
He could also just strike it, and like it kind of fits into the character that he's not good at getting angry.
Yeah,
you know what I
okay.
mean. Like it does fit into the character that he would be an awkward yeller, maybe. You know.
yeah,
That makes
but there's
sense.
also points where he, it's hard. We're going to talk about this more in depth in the next episode, but there's a couple points where he's like, now I have the upper hand in a situation. So he's like trying to be like, haha, kind of like when you said he was taunting.
Yeah, when he does when you choose the ironic thing, and he's like, "Oh, big." It was
Like
very
even that is
awkward.
also very awkward
Because
like,
he was-
basically anytime he speaks.
He's like, "Oh, big tough cop man. I thought he was a big veteran." He's like,
this guy is French, right? The actor.
It's-
I sent you a clip of him on like a morning show.
"That's
and
what
he
I
was
took
cooking.
it as."
He was
yeah.
like,
It's
"This
French
is my
or
grandfather's recipe."
Belgian or something. You know what I mean? Like he speaks
Okay.
French though natively, I think.
all right.
You guys look at that video.
I watched half of it and I was like, "Why am I watching this?"
Did it put you that it was Norman Jaden?
It did not. I also
Did you look at it?
I didn't know
I
that
didn't
too.
know you sent that to me, and I started watching it. And like 10 minutes in, I was like, "Did Matt mean to send this to us?" I was like 2 minutes in, and I'm like, "I don't."
The hell's
This
Matt
is
doing?
just a. It's something. I was like, "Is something funny gonna happen?" I was like waiting for something, and then you messaged again, being like, "Wow, wild that Norman James," and I was like, "Oh, I can stop watching this video."
okay.
Yeah, I just wanted you to see him in real life because it's like his whole accent makes a lot more sense when you hear him speaking in his natural voice.
He reminded me of like Anthony from Queer Eye.
Okay.
I don't know if you've watched any of the new Queer Eye show.
I watched like the first episode of the first series.
It'll
when
make you cry.
like, a long time ago. I doubt it will.
That's a much different
I
show.
definitely welled up. Yeah. I like. Yeah,
Really?
I cried more than a few times in that show.
Isn't it just
Yeah.
a gay makeover show?
Yeah, but it's
It's a lot more emotional and
It's
personal
just
than it used to be.
yeah, because it's like the original show was very much just them being like, "You're ugly. You need new clothes. We're gonna take you shopping."
Like, lose some
and
weight.
now it's like they're like, "You're gorgeous and beautiful. We need to highlight what's gorgeous and beautiful about you."
So it's a
and
feel
teach
good
you."
show. They're
Yeah.
not mean gays anymore.
They're no
No.
longer. It's no longer the mean gays. They're a little bit to each other, so
Yeah,
there's still
it's funny.
levity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they also
But
like
they also go for people who are like, it's like sob stories. You know what I mean?
yeah, people that
So
I
it's
think
like-
would benefit the
But
most
they're also
from
very
intervention.
relatable things, you know. It's a really good formula. and I
Ever
think
since
it's
I
good.
lost my wife, I just
And I
haven't had
definitely-
any self-confidence, you know, and then they're
I
like,
definitely well up a little bit.
Was that
Oh,
the
yeah.
Boogie episode?
That was the boogie. Uh-huh.
he pulls out his gun and he's like, how do they know I'm fat?
I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Basically,
Unless you can make me
this
smile.
scene ends. Okay, we're gonna get back on track. This scene ends, and Blake is like, "Per an APB for Spider-Man." I mean, for Ethan Mars. Ethan Mars is the origami killer. I repeat, Ethan Mars is the murderer. It's him. We have undeniable proof. It's definitely him.
And you're like, what was,
Huh?
Blake, what was that? The what killer? He's like, we got him. He's the origami
He's the
killer.
origami
it's
killer.
like- I mean, the evidence so far is a piece of origami was left at the office. He's mentally unwell after a incredibly traumatic event. I called the fire department on this.
On this hot game.
And his literal son is the one that's missing. So they're like, he could be the one who's killing his own kid. You know?
I don't know if that's enough.
I don't know if it's enough to go.
To initiate. It's
not
him.
definite.
None of it is.
I would go strong suspect.
Like, we got to go get him now. We got to go talk to him
Got to bring
now.
this guy in for questioning, but I would not go on the radio and be like, he's the origami killer. He's definitely, without a
Kill him. You got to kill him.
Good. I mean, it's just not. That's not good. So
You'd add him to the list of suspects, like you just did for the last two fucking guys.
top the list.
And just
Yeah.
go,
Maybe
okay.
like strong possibility.
Like maybe you'd go like, we got to go right now to find this guy, but you're not like,
he's announced. It's
Yeah.
him.
so that like then if one of the beat cops shoots him in the back, they can feel good about it.
Yeah.
Chapter 25.
Until the next kid dies.
Chapter 25.
We don't know what happened.
The golf club. So Shelby is been invited to a driving range by Gordy Kramer's father,
These places are cool.
Charles Kramer.
Oh, yeah.
Multi-level ones.
Yeah,
I never
these are cool. There's
Also, it's on top of a building, I think. It seems like it was on like the top of a.
Oh no, well usually
Tower.
there's like it's not on top of a tower. Generally it's like there's a lobby area, you know what I mean? You come in, you pay or whatever, and then you go up and it's like a multi-level balcony driving range.
I thought it was also like there are skyscrapers looking around you.
They were around you.
I thought you were like somewhat elevated.
You are elevated. That's what I just said.
Fucking, I mean, like you're higher up in a building.
Yes, that's what I said.
Then what are we arguing about?
You
I'm
asked
very confused.
You said, is it on top of a tower? And I said, no, it's a multi-level. They're not on top of a tower.
They're not on like the roof of a building, which would be the
I
top
thought
of a
no.
tower.
I
he's
thought it
like-
was on the roof of a building.
No, he's in a. It's what it is it's basically they built a skyscraper. They made it go like this, and they cut the fucking front of it off. You know what I mean? And then you're just hitting golf balls out the front of it.
Yeah, sorry to keep pushing the point because it doesn't matter, but I thought it was all of that, like you said, I understood that, but I thought that was also on top of a building. That was probably.
And I
used
said
for other
probably for like the lobby and stuff, but then all
Okay.
that stuff.
But anyway.
Sorry.
shit. Not just like a 3-story thing.
There's a funny bit where if you think to yourself, like, I'm at a driving range. He goes, so, I'm going to paraphrase this, but he goes, golf, big stick, little ball. I just don't get it.
He did
Yeah,
say that.
I did
yeah.
the same thing. Yeah.
That terrible honeymooners line. Like, what?
It's like, okay, here's the
Basketball, but rubber ball, 24 guys? I just don't get it.
thing. Or baseball. Like,
Stick, ball, I don't get it.
Yeah.
What?
He's just a trope.
a golf club is not that big. It's
No.
long, I guess, but it's not like, man,
long
the
and
size of the golf club in relation to the golf ball is just preposterous.
It's similar to Gary Busey's issue in Deuce Bigelow, if you recall. Do you guys remember Gary Busey's reason why he needs a gigolo to have sex with his wife?
Yeah.
Do you?
No, I
thought it
haven't
was-
seen
I
that
thought it was
fucking.
I'm trying to remember.
He like pops off about it on the end because they're all like, it's okay, you have a small penis. He's like, it's not small. It's not. It's really long. He's like, but it's this big around. He's like, it's like a spaghetti. He's freaking out. I thought it was
Oh,
very
okay.
funny.
I do remember that now.
Gary Busey kind of does that same mouth thing that Scott Shelby does. Like,
Yeah, but it sounds...
There's a lot of bullshit going
there's a
on.
lot of weird things.
Oh, I have to
happening.
confirm to see if
Engines
I can
revving.
prove you and Eve wrong.
What?
He thinks there's a ramp that goes down to the water right behind us, but there is not.
There's not a ramp, but there is
There is a ramp right there, but it goes into the basement of the building.
The ramp doesn't go to the water, but there is like a hill.
This thing right here, like there's like that little,
Yeah, but you can't
That
like
ramp.
you can't like
It leads
drive
to
down
nothing.
at least to nothing. It doesn't
It's
lead to
just
the
a brick
water.
wall.
Oh, it leads to a brick wall. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I don't know why it's there. Like
Okay.
it doesn't make any sense. Like
Yeah.
there's not like a loading bay down there or something.
Yeah.
It's just a ramp that and then just a wall.
it. It's really weird. Yeah.
Yeah. No idea.
And the owner of the building is not cooperative.
But anyway,
I keep things in here.
so
I keep garbage in here.
Pretty much.
yes, Charles Kramer invited Scott Shelby to the driving range, and you golf for a bit, and he like tells you. I thought he was gonna like hold you from behind because there's a couple. doing that. Yeah.
Constantly the entire time.
And so he, and you know, basically he's just like, stay away from my son. You don't need to investigate him. Whatever.
I'm a very influential man, Scott Shelby.
Yeah, he tries to buy you off.
He's like, very Norman,
please, bitch.
Norman Osborn-y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Green Goblin-y.
Basically,
very rich.
The thing that happened for me was, as I kept going on, I was getting like 100 yards, maybe. I think it's probably.
The first one you hit, like, you barely get it anywhere. The second one, you nail 100 yards, and you're like, fuck yeah.
And the last one?
Last one, you fucking crank it.
I got 50.
Oh, really?
You fucked it up?
I nailed it.
I
don't know how I don't know if I did it wrong. I was like, I'm actually doing worse.
I think what was confusing is that you're supposed to release or press the swing button at a specific point in your rise.
Because like the first one, the reason the first hit is so bad because I was figuring it out. It's because I held it up here for so long,
right?
And then I brought it down.
I couldn't figure out what the
second one.
You had 3 tries.
Yeah, the second one I nailed it for 100 yards because it was the moment it got up, I hit the button.
I got 102, and then I got 50 on the last one.
Last one I fucking cranked her.
And I remember like Scott, like he makes like every time he's like a little bit more like satisfied. Like, all right.
This is just a picky thing, but you don't use he used like a 9-iron, like a pitching wedge, from a tee. Yeah, Scott Shelby. Like
instead
you go
to a driver.
Yeah, which is what you use at a driving range, and you also don't tee off with any club other than the driver. Generally, I guess you know what I mean. Like it was just for him being like, you play golf. And then I felt like maybe he was like making fun of him, being like, "Oh, you play golf," and he was like, "Not really." And he's like, "Oh, well, why don't you take my club?" And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also he goes, "The balls are in that basket."
I was just gonna fucking say this.
That is a. I mean, it's very loose.
They're just on the ground.
It looked like it looked like it. At the very best, it looked like a gutter in the side of a bowling lane.
The cupboard,
like a little
from
thing in the ground.
One, was more of a cupboard than this is a basket.
Oh,
yeah,
100%.
Not a basket.
110% much more of a cupboard than that.
Which is also bizarre because I'm like, I feel like it would have been easier potentially to model a basket. Just
you literally at driving range get
I was going to say
buckets of balls.
You get a bucket usually.
Yeah.
At like the more advanced ones now, like Top Golf and stuff, like they shoot them out of a little thing on the side. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
So
you hit
unless
them and they shoot them out.
This is essentially like 2 pieces of wood. It's like a shelf.
like an L.
Yeah, with like a little lip on it so the balls don't all fall out.
Yeah.
And it's completely open. It's like a trough, essentially.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Trough
yeah.
is a perfect word for it. I would say like they're in that trough over there.
Yeah.
And and there's just a bunch of them. They're just scattered around and you just grab one.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been easier for them to model just a little basket. And
Yeah,
then it would match. It
wouldn't have mattered either way.
Or just say the balls are right there.
Or just be like the balls are just grab a ball.
Yeah, it was
you don't
very
have to tell me
strange.
what they're in. You don't have to name the
It's not a
receptacle.
basket.
No, it's just not.
It's just not a basket. At least not in America.
No.
Which the game is set in.
But no, I just thought that was a funny, like, I know neither of you guys probably play golf at all.
I've never known.
But
I have.
it's like you just don't use you don't use an iron. You don't use a fucking
What's the
wedge.
issue?
The
Why
club that he
would
was
you-
using to drive is when you go to a driving range, you use a club that's called the driver, which has the fat head on the end of it.
Yeah,
That's
big
for,
guy.
You know what I
it's
mean?
for length.
It's for length.
You want to go you want your ball to go a long distance.
as far as you can.
But what he was using was for height.
Like no, yeah, kind of. Generally,
It's for
what you use it
girth.
for is it's like when you have those, it's because you're like, oh, it's in tall grass. I need to get underneath the ball to pop it up over something.
and
or I
it
need
has
to-
the fucking
yeah, the pitching wedge
that
or a
makes-
9-iron, like, or you use those when you're like closer to the thing, and you're like, I don't want quite as much power. I just kind of want to lob it up over into there.
The monkeys in my brain are like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, ooh." Like we got it, we understand now.
Yeah, it's
It's just using different tools to achieve different things, and you use a driver at the driving range.
We went to mini putt one time, quick tangent, and I had to tell everybody there what hand they used because nobody else there had ever used a golf club in their life, and I'm left-handed. And so when I went up there and used the golf club with my left hand, they all started to do the same thing. And I was like, the statistical improbability of all 4 of us being left-handed is astronomical.
But aren't you
I think you're all-
right-handed?
I am right-handed when I write, but like I play most sports left-handed.
It's because your dad did.
That's all. But it was just
And he didn't
hilarious.
teach you
It was
good.
hilarious to watch all of you go up there and be like,
Also do it?
yeah. And I'm like, have any of you ever swung a bat before? And you were all like,
Ooh.
and I was like, oh.
ah.
This is kind of a nothing chapter in a
Very
way.
much, yeah.
It's just basically saying like
Setting the stage, it seems like.
it is. It is. I just mean to say there's a bunch of chapters where it's like 2 minutes of exposition and it's over. So
Yeah.
basically, it's just like, why are you investigating my son? Well, I think he's the killer. I think he could be the killer.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something weird, obviously, where a kid disappeared. Like, he committed a crime, at least. And he's like, Shelby, stop. Just stop. It's not good for you to do
but
this.
it was some cool dialogue because he was just like, he's like, my son has nothing to do with that, and he's like, then he won't be worried or scared by my investigation. Like, he was so cool the entire time.
This is the moment where I was like, Scott Shelby's not uncomfortable in any scenario.
No.
Because like walking into a party that's clearly for people 30 years younger than him, he's just like, what's happening?
I think
What's
Scott
going on,
Shelby's
cool
thing
cats?
is that he does seem to look down on almost everything and everyone,
Yes, as
which
well as,
helps him be comfortable.
which is like, because he has like a moral high ground.
Superiority.
Yeah, and there's also the physical imposement of the fact that he's
Right,
like,
he literally,
like-
when I see him, I go, "How's the weather up there?"
yeah, right.
But
He goes,
because, like, you'll notice throughout the game, he's just like, this situation, could never understand it.
Right, yeah.
He, like, there's like, I'm thinking ahead, but there's like 2 or 3 more times where he's just like, now I'm here. This is crazy. Who does this?
He walks into the home with like the mother who tried to kill herself with the baby, and he's like, "This is," you know what I mean? He's like talking about how
He goes, parents these days. Jeez.
yeah, yeah, but like clearly that's not that's not the issue, Scott Shelby. You were a fucking cop. You should know that it's a bigger.
Yeah. Leaving the kids alone, killing themselves. Come on.
Basically, he rejects the bribe and leaves, which brings us to chapter 26, The Lizard. We're back with Ethan. Ethan has arrived at an old, burned-out building.
Eddie Izzard, the lizard gizzard, wizard.
So you have to go in.
What?
The guy from King Gizzard was on Hollywood Handbook recently, and it was surprisingly unfunny. He was kind of funny,
Yeah,
but I expect him to be a little looser, and he wasn't. I don't know.
sometimes those artsy types like they can be it can go either way.
Yeah.
They're either like the social ineptitude can either lead to like hilarity or just like a really awkward conversation.
Just like a little bit like, oh, you're missing each other.
Right.
Anyway.
You almost got that one there.
Almost have chemistry, not quite. So you go into this building, and Ethan's like, there's been a fire here.
Yeah.
And there's just a bunch of ceramic lizards on the ground.
Like a lot of effort.
I figured this out immediately.
This was not
And so
even a
I just want
puzzle.
to, we'll lay this out. It looks like a puzzle. There's a bunch of lizards on the ground. The first one you approach, you can pick it up and shake it,
Porcelain lizard.
and then you can smash it on the ground.
Or put it back down.
So then I just did that to the second one,
And there's a key in it.
and that was the one again. And then I was like, okay.
And the thing
Okay.
is, the green lizard is the one that has the key in it, and there's a green lizard on the door, which matches the green origami lizard you have in your hand.
I didn't even like.
Drugs are
It,
blowing
that
her
was.
off.
It
All
was
the rest are orange, I
It
think.
was
a very-
so not a puzzle. I didn't think it was a puzzle.
Right,
I
but here's the thing.
had it the
there's
same way you
there's a
did.
hallway,
Yeah.
and then there's the apartment door with the lizard on it.
The only door.
And all down the hallway, there's like 8 of these lizards.
Yeah.
And you'd think you'd have to like go to a few. It's the second one.
Yeah, you think you'd have to like shake a couple. Like I would put it as like the second or third one from the last, so that way it's right in the middle. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you kind of have to. So you check the first few, and you're like, oh, maybe it's the last one. And then you skip the middle, and then you're like, fuck, it is one of these. And,
Yeah.
You barely have an opportunity to.
Did you
check
guys?
anymore.
and then it doesn't let you pick up any more lizards after
Yeah, I was
that.
bummed
Yeah.
out. Did you guys read Ethan's thoughts at this point?
Yeah.
He said something like, all this old stuff here, but these brand new lizards look sparkly and clean, not like the rest of this old stuff that's here. It's just like the most like, I think this is a puzzle. That thing? That thing?
Somebody must have put these ceramic lizards all over the floor here.
What are
Like,
they?
hole.
Color
Looks like
coded?
a round object needs to be inserted into it.
Yeah. So
My penis.
yeah, this was a weirdly.
Table. It's like wrapped around my dong.
It snuck into your jeans.
migrated into there.
Off my circulation.
So yeah, that was pretty lame. But this next part was
Yeah, so you go
A lot more.
You open the door, and there's like a blown out room where it's been all blown out.
blown out.
Someone had a blowout in this room, and then also there was a
used.
fire.
I remember. So I explored. Did you guys explore the room before you interacted with the table?
No, I went right to the table.
So there's,
Okay.
yeah, there is a table with an iPad on it that you can interact with, but did you look around first?
I looked around first.
There's a bathroom and a kitchen.
I went into the bathroom. I saw a knife sticking out of the wall. I said,
That was not in the bathroom.
did I say bathroom? I meant to say kitchen. I went to the
Oh.
kitchen first.
I went to the bathroom first. I wanted to try to rock piss in the building. And
Oh, okay. That would have been cool. You could get the
You
burn.
can wash your hands.
I did that.
Yeah, I must have as well.
They don't
I
let
saw-
you piss in the sink though. You
There-
think like if you're washing your hands, you're saving water if you pee while you're washing your hands into
Right.
the sink. Can't do it. though.
And
It'll
I
be
also
rain.
sometimes I like to wash my dick in the sink.
Yeah, then to get it splash a little in the.
there's
I
also-
I also sometimes like to wash my dick.
Not too much.
End of sentence.
Not often.
You just like your hair.
Not too much.
You
Yeah,
go to the
but-
medicine cabinet, and there's like a some like
There's antiseptic
Dick
of
wash
some sort
cream.
again.
well, there's Manscaped ball.
Yeah,
cream.
ball toner.
Yeah,
I have that at
ball-
home actually. It's an anti-chafing ball deodorant.
Ball
Is what
deodorant.
it's called.
Crop saver.
Smells
Yes,
great.
There's a crop. That's a crop preserver.
Yeah,
smells very
crop
good.
duster, I think that's what it's called. Basically, you fart on your own balls.
You smear the scent of shit all over your balls. It attracts only the most primal and virile of women. It's a really weird scene. Anyway,
It is.
I go into the kitchen.
There's a lawnmower 2.0, which is
It's kind of old at this point.
Yeah.
We're at the 4.
I got the
I got the
2. I think still.
you know what you can do?
Can you trade it in?
You can get a free upgrade.
What?
I did.
I didn't mean to yell that, but you can get a free upgrade.
How?
Well, I guess I've had 3 of them now, and they keep breaking.
Do you get the subscription thing too, where you get the new blade every? Oh, okay,
No, because-
Absolutely not.
I did that for a
I was
minute.
like, I'll just get the new blade when I need it. But I used to do the Dollar Shave Club in like 2009, 2010 or something,
Yeah.
and like
You just get so much shit.
I was like, I think I still have like a drawer full of them. I was like,
yeah.
It reached
I'm
a point.
gonna go down to 1 every 3 months.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm gonna just stop. And if I ever need to start this again, I will. But then I just stopped shaving.
That's what I'd like. I got so many new razors for it that I'm just like, I canceled it because I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna use all these. So
Yeah,
it's like,
the rest
and
of
each
my
time
life.
in a
they-
lifetime.
They'd
Yeah.
send you the razor, and then they'd also send you like a couple of other things. Like now I have like 6 things with the anti-chafing ball deodorant,
Wow.
the crop preserver. So if you guys need some,
I use
still
it.
have mine.
yeah, I use it too. So I'm
I-
gonna inevitably go through, but it's gonna take me like 3 years to go through the
If
amount
one
of
shows
ball
up at my
deodorant.
home, I won't say no.
Yeah, same here. I used to do Dollar Beard Club, and mostly to get their
You just get a new beard every time.
a new beard. I pop mine off. I set it on the
It like
on the
hooks onto your
display.
ears.
Yeah. All right.
I like that we're laughing because it's gonna get really grim. And
Yeah, it's about to be nasty. But I got it for the shampoo, and it was monthly, and I'm like, I have 3 full shampoo bottles. I use them like every other day. But anyway, so I saw the knife in the wall in the kitchen. I was like, oh god.
Did you notice the other cutting implement? There's a hand saw.
There's several.
There's a
hand
saw on the
Oh, is
floor
there?
next
There's
to
a
the desk.
hatchet.
Oh shit!
Well, let's get into it. Basically, you go to the iPad, you activate it, you sit down. They go,
It says hello, Ethan.
"Would you like to play a game?"
Would you like to play a game?
Ah! And he pushes it. The iPad breaks. Yeah.
What was I supposed to do?
Oh fuck! I'm so scared.
What happens is it says you need to cut off the furthest section,
The last section.
of your finger.
Any finger.
Yeah,
He chooses pinky.
He picks his right pinky. Could be
No, he
left.
picks his left pinky because
Yeah.
I remember
Oh, because he's
specific.
right-handed.
I don't know which one would you guys choose.
I would choose my left pinky.
I would choose pinky
I
or
feel
ring
like that's
finger.
really important for grip.
No, it's not, because as somebody who cut off the tip of their pointer finger and then had it sewed back on, you cannot do some stuff. It gets really like suddenly
What do you mean?
suddenly you don't realize how much you grip with those 2 fingers
Well,
specifically.
I think ring. It's between the ring and the pinky.
I'd say
'cause
ring or
points
pinky.
are in
Yeah,
the
that's
middle.
what I said. Yeah, but pointer you like I didn't
It's
have
between
my
ring or pinky. I put pinky.
I didn't have my pointer
are you
finger for
gonna-
like maybe a week and a half that I couldn't use it normally.
What is that?
What are you gonna put up in there?
Are you talking about giving someone a shocker?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The ring's too
You have
big, dude.
I've got 2 hands.
Yeah.
He's got you there.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Or
Or just like do one then the other so that you don't get a yeast infection.
or just insert your
I feel like the pinky might
Penis
be
and-
more
yeah.
valuable than the ring finger in a grasping situation. Like you're like an elite from fucking Halo. You know,
I
they only have
disagree.
3.
Yeah, I would disagree as well, and so would Ethan. But hypotheticals. What actually does happen is you have, I think, 5 minutes.
5 full minutes. How long did it take you guys to do it?
Much longer than I thought.
Well, the first time I played this, I was like, I need to figure this out, and I got a really good run on my first playthrough. This
Yeah.
playthrough, I didn't do good at all. So let me just tell you guys what happened, because we all know you have to chop it off.
Yes.
You can't avoid it. And you can, but then you don't get your clue. So did we all go ahead and chop it off?
I didn't waste any fucking
Okay.
time.
I
alright.
chopped it.
All right, so I saw all the different implements, and he goes, I gotta find the right thing to cut it. So I grabbed the antiseptic wash
Yes.
from the bathroom.
Yeah, same here.
Same.
And the hatchet. And as you're going
okay.
through, you're putting all the stuff on the table.
Yes.
Where's the hatchet?
The hatchet is to the left of the door when you first walk in. There's like a little dresser. It's on the floor.
Oh, okay.
Completely missed
Because that's the saw. I didn't notice the table saw until I was in the process of cutting off my finger, and I saw it in my periphery in the shot.
I thought, what's gonna get me through this as quickly as possible?
Mm-hmm.
I did not see the other cutting devices. I only saw the knife in the kitchen wall or whatever that was.
So here's what I did. I sat on myself on the table. I got ready. I took the antiseptic wash, and I poured it all over my hand before I chopped.
I did too.
I did too.
Is that what you're supposed to do?
No. Why?
I don't know. I was
It
confused.
didn't seem like it would be an option to pour it on after.
Yeah, I thought
It
like
is.
Okay, that would have been good to
So
know.
So now that I got it all primed for the wound that isn't there yet, because you're supposed to put it on a wound. I don't have
but
the
you're
wound
so-
I
yet.
think doing preemptive is
You
probably
should
not.
also do it preemptively.
Yeah, if you have the
should be.
choice.
You should, like, because any time that I've had, like, if you had gotten a piercing
Right,
or a tattoo or
they
anything,
do
clean it
clean
up.
the
you
area.
got to clean the
Still,
area with, like,
I think it's
iodine
more
and
for
stuff
like
first.
pain and stuff, and whatever. I chop it off, and I just fall to the ground, and I scream in agony,
Yep.
and then they're like, under the table, and I punch the floorboards, and I
Yeah.
get the little video. That's pretty. What instrument did you choose?
I chose the knife in the wall as well. I think you and I had I think we all had a pretty similar experience where I didn't, so I'm sitting there with the knife at the table. I pull the knife out of the wall and I'm sitting there and I go, okay, I need the disinfectant first. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be able to, I've cut off the tip of my finger before. You need someone else to put stuff on it. You know what I mean? You're like reeling a little bit. You know what I mean? You're like, this hurts so much. I'm like focusing on breathing properly. You know what I mean? And not screaming.
Yeah.
And so you're like, all you can think about is the pain. And like, you just hope somebody else is there to be like, can you, like, you just got a towel around it and you're like, can somebody, I don't know what to, my brain's
Okay.
shutting off.
I've been here.
You know what I mean? Like,
I
when
sliced
you're
my
in-
thumb real good that
when
one
you're in
time.
so much pain that like your brain just kind of shuts off where you're like, all I can do is manage the pain right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I figured that's what it was going to be like. So I poured the antiseptic on my hand first because I was like, because I figured it'd prevent infection.
I guess you are. I'm reading the wiki, and you are supposed to do it first.
Oh,
Okay.
thank fucking God.
Even as I was doing it, I was like, I guess this is helpful, but also I feel like I would do it after.
He also
But
wasted
also,
all of it.
I was gonna say the reason I thought it was wrong is because I poured all of it out, and I was
Yeah.
like, well, I would have used some afterward.
I was like, I would have
Yeah.
saved it. I would have cut it off and then like just dunked my finger into the fucking thing. You have to.
Yeah, you have to make sure it's clean. Yeah.
Like, you don't have anything to irrigate it with.
Oh God.
Are there other options that you're seeing?
There's other.
Can
I
you
did-
botch
did you,
it?
Did you see the pair of scissors?
No.
Jesus Christ, dang, no.
No. I'm like, even a dull knife will cut your finger off well. So that's why I'm like, because the hatchet, I was like, no, because a hatchet, that's potentially just,
And you're gonna have to
get
slam it.
to get the force you need, you got to bring it up and
Did
you're
you
going
find
to
the
miss.
pliers?
No, you can
What?
pull it off. Are they like wire cutters at least?
What the fuck?
Are they like,
I don't know. But so basically, did you
Oh
find
my
the iron
God.
rod?
No.
Did you find the piece of wood?
I walked through this entire place and I saw
oh, I bet
only.
you
didn't
could
see
have
fucking
I bet you
anything.
could have put the wood down. You bite down on the iron rod and fucking chop it.
No, you don't bite down an iron rod.
No, you bite down on the piece of wood, put the iron rod down.
No.
No.
You're
What's
close.
the iron rod for?
The the piece of wood is to bite on. 'Cause,
Okay.
I don't know. So you don't.
It helps.
Yeah.
Does it?
What I
Yeah,
did
to
the
bu- to
first time,
bite on
I
something?
did this all correct.
If you don't
on
wanna
my first
scream.
playthrough, because I was really like, I was just like, I'm so fucking nervous. What am I gonna do? Not to say you guys weren't, but on my first playthrough, what I did was took the iron rod, heated it on the stove.
No.
So you
Oh,
could
because I
cauterize
saw
your
the pro.
wound.
I saw there's. Oh, I saw there's the propane tank, and I'm like, that's rigged to be functional still.
Yeah. So so what you do is
Wow, I can't
disinfect
believe
it,
there's so much more
chop
here.
it cleanly using like the knife or the hatchet, something that's gonna get just a shing instead of because the other one you actually have to like
If you have to,
saw it
yeah,
off.
it's like I've cut myself
so-
with a serrated knife too,
so
and
you
that's
use-
like way worse than.
use the wood to bite down on, cauterize your wound, and you come out better for it.
God.
Like he's not as fucked up or something. Okay.
It's just you get an achievement for it, and assumedly he's probably like still in pain, but probably less so.
All right. So mine is mostly similar.
That's like cauterizing the finger afterwards. I can't even.
That's got to be another
That's like
world.
that's another. You're just basically like the pain I just went through again.
but maybe worse.
Yeah, the pain I just went through. Except this time I get to smell my flesh melt.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I cut my finger off. I'll burn it now. Like, it's just shit. So, yeah, for me, I had that. We had a pretty much similar. I dumped it on me first. Did you guys breathe? Or do you have to breathe, right?
Yeah, you're like
Before you can set it up, you breathe at least once.
there's a lot of tension.
Yeah, it seems like so. You have to go very slow up and then or down and then up, whatever it is. And then I think it's after you do a couple of those, you get the option to do it. I just did it. Like I didn't waste right when right after he finished breathing, I was like slam, and then I think I had to press the button. I had to press the button one more time.
Slam.
I never know these references.
I've tried to. I've told you to listen.
You've even told me you listen to this song before.
I've told you to listen to
Come on
Onyx
and slam
so many times.
and welcome to Japan.
No, Slam by Onyx. I've told you to listen to it so many times, and either you lied to both of us.
You have listened to it.
I forgot it then.
You've talked to me about it.
Okay.
What's our other parts of it that are?
That's pretty much the song.
Well, I'm rapping and I'm doing the first like this.
That's Onyx.
Wow. Anyway.
Slam. Let the boys.
I don't remember at all. So I had to press. I had to press the. I was flying away. Can I talk about cutting off my finger or what?
Yeah, you said you just did it.
Yeah.
But there was a second button press. Did you guys have to do that?
Yeah, I had to do 2 button presses.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if there was
Press
differences.
a lot of buttons.
Well, because it's like you set it down, and then you fucking.
He gives it to it, but then that's not enough. You
Oh,
don't
that
see
wasn't
it.
enough?
Yeah, I had to do it twice.
I think I just did the hatchet just because it was. I'm sure each tool is different, and some are probably much more agonizing than others.
Do you guys think you could do it?
Yeah, I'd have to if I was.
Yeah.
In that position, yes, but I would never be okay after that.
Yeah, I think.
I think you would.
I think you.
I think you'd have to force yourself to not be okay.
The only thing that this did was made me. Now I haven't cut myself with a knife since then.
Would you go? I feel like the move is to be slightly in front of the knuckle,
You want to try to hit the knuckle. I feel like
right at the
on.
base of your nail.
You don't want to get the nail.
Yeah, like you want to go like before the nail.
No, I'd want
between the nail and the knuckle.
I'd want to try to find the joint right on and get right where the bone separates. So that way I don't have to cut through any.
Do you think that's easier to tear through than the bone would be?
Yeah, because you can't. In order, like if you're like butchering meat and you go to like break a bone and you're just using a regular knife, you need to like put the heel of your hand on it and fucking. You know what I mean?
Down.
You need to break a bone. So what you'd want to do is you'd want to get right where the joint is, so that way all you're cutting through is flesh. So
I can't wait till we play a Yakuza game.
Getting just getting the ligament through it. You know what I mean? You'd want to find right where it hinges. Wow. And if anything, you'd want to put it right here and then pull as hard as you can.
Would you do it palm up or palm down?
Oh, palm down, hand down for sure.
Oh yeah,
hand down for sure, because you have less feeling on the back of your hand than you do on your palm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is way more sensitive than here.
When you get done with this, you basically like go out the room and then just like fucking like crash out in the hallway.
Yeah, you just fucking hit the ground.
Yeah.
And suddenly we're in chapter 28.
And suddenly 27.
I thought it was funny how quickly.
Can I go pee?
I got it. In the chapter?
What's the name of this chapter?
It's 27. Mm-hmm. No, you don't piss in this chapter.
Oh. No. Okay, I've got to piss in this chapter.
Oh, in real life?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick pee.
So, chapter 27 is Fugitive.
Mm-hmm.
Madison's
Fugitive.
Riding her bike. She's just cruising the city, with the top down. And you mentioned to us just off camera because I was like, "How did she know he was there?"
She kind of like, it seems like she's just riding.
I remember the show.
She's
she goes,
very
"That's Ethan's
fortuitous.
car."
She's like, why is it here? And she had just clearly. I think Madison
How
has
the fuck
a history.
did she know which car was his? I guess she could have watched him leave.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it never shows her seeing his car.
We don't know how they've interacted in the downtime.
You never see
what I
a
mean?
hotel room, but we assume
there's downtime in between. You know what I mean? Where obviously, I'm sure maybe they've interacted since in between. You know, who knows? But anyway,
wait a minute.
What?
It's Ethan's car?
Yeah, because he drove there.
Okay.
He didn't wreck his car earlier.
All right.
That was it. He got it out of the garage.
Didn't he drive? No, that was not his car.
Yeah, that was just a car out of the garage.
The killer's car, apparently.
Yeah,
it was
the killer
trap
car.
Right. He was
been there for
activated
2
by
years.
trap car.
My trap car.
But so he just. But clearly, I think she seems like somebody who clearly has a history, some sort of criminal history, because she's able to. When she sees the car,
fucks hard.
she's already clocked that there's 2 cops staking out the place right behind it, even though neither of them are uniformed officers.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Blake and Jaden are in their car, and they're like, "We know Ethan's inside." So
Yeah.
she goes into the building. They're like, what's that lady doing? She probably lives there just as well. Wouldn't want anybody like hanging out while we try to take this guy
Yeah, Blake's
down.
like, she better fucking keep moving before we fucking bust into that place.
It's clear that he
Shooting
wants to
bullets.
just murder Ethan the
Blake
second
just
he
wants
comes
to
outside.
shoot his way out of every problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is crazy. You wouldn't want to be like, I'm gonna bring that asshole in and make him rot in jail or something. You know, because like, it's like, I guess if you're so certain of the evidence, you just want to kill the guy.
Or if you're like so broken and beaten down by the justice system, you know what I mean? Maybe that you're just like, if we're gonna stop this guy, I gotta shoot him in the head. You know what I mean?
But Blake just seems like he's like, I enjoy the hunt.
It does seem like,
But he
Blake-
might
maybe
have-
Blake's the origami killer.
he might have that information where he's like,
Got a lot of scars on his face.
he might have like experienced a lot of like really bad guys like getting good deals because of whatever bullshit reason.
Blake is also something that will come up more and more. Is Blake is like almost suspiciously eager to be like, got the guy, we got him, it's him, 100%.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
I know, that's the whole, like, he could be. That was the first thing that made me think maybe, because obviously everyone's a suspect. I'm
Yes.
starting to say shit
There's
weird
ju-
because
there's
this whole
just-
fucking game.
Amogus.
there's just like different reasons why each person is a suspect.
Yeah, and it is very shady that he's like, it's definitely this guy, we'll kill him, and then we got him. And then every single
seems
person
like
you
he's
come
trying to get
across,
to the end
every
of it.
single person you come across, he's just like, it's him, shoot him, kill him now, quick, he's a killer, shoot him now.
Which would be like, oh, well, now there's no way to like argue, you know, against
And then
it.
if it keeps happening, you're like, she's a copycat. She's supposed to be a copycat.
Somebody else different this time.
So she goes inside the building. And
She goes inside the building.
Yeah, Madison. That's who we're talking about.
Shigo is a character from a show.
Oh, she goes a character from Kim Possible.
Yeah. He said she goes inside the building, so I'm like, she goes inside the building? It was really funny. You should have been there.
I was too old for
Your
that
girlfriend's going to think that's hilarious.
Yeah, I watched it too.
show. She'll never watch this, so it doesn't matter.
Probably won't.
What?
It's an upsetting game. It doesn't really seem like she'd be into it.
I just assume she doesn't watch anything we do.
Sometimes.
Is it when you tell her to?
No.
Okay.
Is it when you're editing and she's in the room?
Those times, absolutely.
So she goes into the building. She's like, Ethan's in here. What the fuck, Ethan? Are you okay? What's going on? He's like,
I thought I skipped this chapter because I was
time
like,
you-
how the fuck did, like, I was very lost.
Every time you find Ethan, like she finds Ethan, he's just like, you're like, what's going on? He's like,
Like, he just spits out blood.
basically, she's like, Ethan, they're out there. They're gonna get you. You need to get out of here.
He's like,
we can't.
not even
we
moving.
can't
he's just like,
upstairs.
I'm gonna lay down.
And you're getting a very tense thing where you're getting a split cam between her
Wow.
in the building,
This was
struggling
brutal.
to find a way out, and the cops outside getting ready to bust in.
Yeah, what a cool fucking thing.
I don't know if you're supposed to barely make it, but I like, as
There's no
as
way I
the
would.
cops,
You're not. I mean,
as the cops
did you
busted
guys get
in.
caught by the cops?
No.
No, I
Oh,
did
you
not.
could have.
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
wow.
because
Then I barely fucking
as
made
the
it out of
cops
this.
busted in, you could see my Madison's fucking feet going out the window.
Right, she
That's
basically,
how
like,
close I
pushes some
cut
stuff
it.
over and
Yeah.
like climbs out a window, and then
Lugs
you're
Ethan
getting,
through it.
Like you have to, like a cop's like waiting outside the window. Basically, he's like, "Hey, stop!" And you're like, "No."
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, I'll shoot. Stop or I'll shoot.
He
And
didn't,
you're like,
then he just didn't shoot.
and then he just doesn't even pull the gun out.
Because you're right there at at the end of the alleyway going into traffic. It's like
You could have
can't
blasted.
shoot in
Yeah, you have to
traffic.
And
consider
it
the
was
fact
like
that,
bumper to bumper.
Yeah, you're not Blake.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you shoot and it misses, you just killed someone in the passenger
He
seat.
killed
of
another
a Honda Civic, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
trying to go to work or whatever.
It's like the subway. It's our only chance. So you go down to the subway, and then
you like quick Frogger style little thing going.
and I
here.
was
Yeah.
panicking because in the subway you're again caught in a crowd. They get eventually go down in the subway with you, and you're like
Ethan shuts down though because there's a crowd.
right, and yeah, so he starts having and she's like, Ethan, what? It's like Ethan, what? I don't know. Maybe the fact that he's like in shock and clearly you found him half dead, but like whatever.
Yeah, she's really.
What's
giving-
wrong with you suddenly?
You were so normal
You were so normal before. Your two cracked, your two broken ribs that you took a bunch of painkillers for. Those painkillers are gone now. He left them on the bed.
He did. He could have brought him.
I don't know why he didn't take them with him. That's what I didn't get. I was like there's a few little, just like tiny
took
who
10 of
fucking
them.
cares plot holes.
He thought it'd be enough.
Eventually, your body's gonna piss it all out. You know what I mean?
So
Especially with how much we're pissing.
what I had to
Yeah.
do, and maybe this is you had to do as well, is I had to jump down into
Yeah.
the
I know what it's
Off
called.
the ledge.
I can't think of what they
off the
say.
platform. I don't know what the
Off the
little
platform
space
Yeah.
onto the
is
tracks.
called. Yeah, but
There's this track.
I thought they used a different word for.
Undercroft.
I did not hear that word.
You just said that word.
The Undercroft. Under the platform.
It's underneath the croft.
Croft.
That's the
It's
under-
underneath the
And then you
croft.
have to like quickly cross and climb back up on the other platform before a train hits you.
Scared the
Yeah.
fuck out of me. That was very tense.
And then you hop onto a train and you're safe.
And like you see Blake, like oh man.
He's pissed.
And
He wanted to shoot.
He says
somebody.
fuck.
He
And he
shoots you.
shoots.
There's a point where he's like, again, you guys are going down the escalator, and he's like, stop or I'll shoot. And I'm like, if you shoot right now, there's
Escalator.
You didn't go down the escalator.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, you shove your way through the escalator.
Yeah, and they're like,
You're
what? Everybody's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and everyone
Whereas,
was
like-
everyone was like uncharacteristically mad because clearly like you're carrying another man.
It was bloody.
Yeah.
And but it's really funny the dichotomy.
Like, what
between,
the what?
You're shoving through people earlier and like nobody responds or reacts at all, and then now suddenly like on an escalator, which is like I've been shoved past on an escalator before because if you're just standing there, some people do walk.
They wanna
down,
go,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Which because that's it's
Double-
supposed to be faster.
Speed boost.
You know, not slower.
Yeah.
It's not.
You are supposed to actually walk down them.
Yes, I know. Which because it's supposed to speed things up. It's to increase the speed of foot traffic.
Oh, that's so stupid. No one does that.
No, because we're lazy.
People are fat and lazy.
Oh.
And so, but everybody was like ready to fucking fight you. This seemed like their response was like that's how I
Extreme
would
aggression.
that's how I would yell at somebody if I was like my next step is to hit you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the next move here is to see how you respond
Like
and then punch
if
you
you
in the face. You know what I mean?
proceed,
Like,
Yeah, it's very brutal, and essentially what happens is you get away, but then you go back to the motel, I should say.
Holiday Inn.
And Ethan opens the next origami, and it says the name of a man,
You
and
gotta
it gives
kill
him
him.
instructions. Yeah, you have to go kill a man. So
You
Ethan
gotta-
grabs his Glock.
With no hesitance. He just he reads the paper, puts it down, grabs the gun, makes sure it's loaded, and just heads out.
And that's the end of this episode.
I
But they-
didn't get to that part. I must say I ended early.
Oh,
I thought it ended once
did
you
you
get on
blow
the
it?
train. So we got on the train and I was like, chapter over.
You blew it.
no.
You guys started saying that. I was like, did I miss a whole entire chapter?
Oh no.
The end of
Okay,
this- the
I
end
just
of the
missed like a
chapter.
Yeah,
minute.
it was
Okay,
very
cool.
brief. But in this moment is where you can speak.
That's when my eyes got wide. You were like, and I was like,
You're like, oh god,
did
I
I
didn't even
fuck
notice.
this up? Really?
That's when I had Ethan tell Madison, because she's like, Ethan, you're all over the news. Are you the origami killer? And he says, why does everyone say it differently? Or he says, why does everyone say it differently, my American?
He doesn't he just go like, I don't know.
You have a couple choices.
blackouts.
I chose honesty. He says, yeah. He's like, I wish he didn't say the words, I don't know. I wish he did, because I would have been.
Because in my game, he did say something like, maybe I am the killer, and I'm like making these trials. My other self wants to
It was a
me.
very Alan Wake kind of thing. He's like, I think I am. I have the blackouts, and I think the other me is testing my love for Sean.
And she's like, I don't buy it.
It was just
at
like-
no point does she believe he's the killer.
And we have the outside perspective too of the other people have gotten the box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like a test he's designed for himself to see if he loves Sean. It's a test that the killer's doing for every single.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause this is
which
a
still
tremendous-
could be. Yeah, that wouldn't exclude
Yeah.
him.
No, it wouldn't exclude him, but I mean, like, it kind of puts a small hole in his logic.
And like
Where,
he
like-
has.
Because I feel like what he's
Because
implying.
he would have had to have forgotten that he did that for everyone else.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah, like I think he's implying that he's the only one that this has happened to. Whereas clearly we've learned it's happened to potentially every father.
I don't think he knows that other people are going.
No, he doesn't.
Right,
have
but
gone
That's what I
the
mean.
thing.
too,
That's
yeah.
the thing. If he had given other people the trials, it would have happened during his blackouts.
What happened?
That's fair. It just feels like there's so much involvement with that, and it's like, yes, he had the blackout. Did he black out enough time to set that up and kidnap a kid every
It's a
single?
lot
you
of
know what I
time.
mean?
Without a
Like-
team.
And why does he always have the origami figure in his hand when he comes out of the blackout?
Yeah, if
That
he's
is
not,
that is a
because
question
he's,
mark.
does he make like 3 every time in case
should-
one rips or gets wet, so
And
that he can
also,
leave one on the
he
he
should
bottom?
said he didn't know
unfold-
how to play the piano, but he played it perfectly.
What? That was Norman.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. That's the next segment. Get ready for that. It was kind of hard. I nailed it though.
It was kind of hard, but I did it
I fucking
perfectly.
nailed
Not
it.
hard, but not for me.
Not for me because I'm great.
I'm a Chad QTE. Great.
I really
All right,
nailed it.
well, anyway, so you didn't know this, so
No.
let's not go even further.
Yeah, I'm
but,
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, the end of the episode today, and yeah, Ethan is now going to be faced with this next trial, which is he's tasked with murdering a man he's never met.
Nah.
Or have they met?
Who knows?
No, it's a stranger.
Is this like the button scenario? Is that movie with Cameron Diaz that was based on a short story?
Oh, right.
Did she have to kill a guy?
You press a button in the end. Yeah. There's a button in a box. You press it, you got $1 million. You got $1 million, but a man dies. You don't know him.
Beep.
Pretty much. And then it's like her husband dies. And she's like, you said I wouldn't know him. And he's like, did you really know your husband?
Oh,
and she's like,
my God. I'd be so mad.
I'm not ruining
Fuck
anything
off.
because it's a short story from the 40s, but
That's some bullshit.
I haven't read everything from the 40s yet. I'm still working on the 30s.
No.
like I've got his collection of short stories.
I'm reading the complete works
of the 40s.
of the 30s.
Oh, of the 30s.
Yeah,
then
the
you have
30s.
the next
I haven't
step
gotten
is
to
the
the
40s
40s
yet.
Wow.
It's the same guy who wrote I Am Legend. So.
A lot of it is not in English.
Oh, shit. I might have
Like
read
a
that.
lot
then.
of it. I would say the majority of it is actually in other languages.
Yeah.
Of the complete works of the 1930s.
Of the 1930s, yeah.
But only the stuff that
because you're
matters
looking
is
at the
English.
complete works. You didn't choose the American works of
No, that wouldn't be
of the
complete.
1930s. No, exactly. You need the worldwide complete report.
Anyway, I gotta get back to reading. So, anything else you want to say about this group of
I just wanted
chapters?
to point out the creepy ladies on the subway.
Yeah.
We've mentioned before when
Oh, right.
the character models for like the NPCs, you know what I mean, in a crowd will like just duplicate for whatever reason.
A lot of the
Andrew
same
got like
guys.
2 of the same black cop like sitting
Yeah.
behind a desk right next to each other,
Directly
which was
next to each
hilarious.
other.
Remember, I love football on TV.
Oh yes,
Gina Lee.
yes.
And twins.
Yeah, because that was from the Scary Movie. That's from Scary Movie 3.
Oh,
'Cause
is
it's-
it?
yeah,
It
it's-
was a beer commercial.
And then they put the whole thing into Scary Movie 3. That's my context of it because
Oh.
he's like, I love football and twins, and then it's just like some girl in like a cut off Hooter shirt. You know what I mean? And
But that's the song that plays in my head whenever I see 2 of the same NPCs next to each
Alright.
other.
Pretty good. I hear double vision.
but as it like you get onto the subway and you're like, "Phew, we made it," and then it pans out onto like the subway station for a second, just onto the platform, and it kind of holds for half a second before it keeps moving, and when it stopped and held, there's 3 identical, like very old women just standing there. They're not like positioned like this. They're just like
Dead on.
at the camera.
Yeah.
Like holding eye contact, and they all have like a slight smile, and they were like, it was like boom, boom, boom.
Maybe
and they
Ethan
were just
didn't really make it.
Yeah.
it was one of those things where it happened, and I was like, it felt
haven't seen the
intentional.
Demon
You know
Ladies?
what I mean? Like I was like, is this something gonna be a survival
We're
horror
gonna
game?
remember this.
But-
I had like 2 or 3 of the same guy. Like
Yeah.
just like I think they were walking, but I was like, you noticed it
They were
instantly.
just standing still, just.
Yeah.
And I was
They
like,
could have made like 3 more people, and it wouldn't have happened. You know
There's
what I mean?
eventually another like party type scene, and I was standing between 2 people dancing, 2 identical people dancing with each other.
Did we mention that Corcus or whatever? He had alibis, and he was not. They confirmed.
His alibi totally
Corda?
checked out.
So you said
Corda.
Corcus.
Corcus,
I
yeah.
was like Corky Romano,
Yeah,
attorney at law.
Corcus sounds
Ray's
like,
brother.
like he plays bass in a black metal band.
he does. Okay,
Lord
I just wanted.
Corcus.
Corda plays Cajon.
That was my main. I tried to make one of those once. That was my main takeaway: is that he had an alibi. Alibi. Sorry, I've been playing this game so much that I'm
An
adding
alibi for-
extra
yeah, for,
R's.
like 3 of the murders they said.
Yeah, so he super wasn't probably the killer.
It's none of the people. I strongly believe it's none of the people that they've arrested.
Oh, yeah.
Or that the police. I don't
Very
think it's anyone the
unlikely.
police have interacted with
No, but
directly.
we'll find out even more on the next episode.
of
of the
Yeah,
origami kill of Harvey Rain.
yeah, I played.
Harvey Ranger. All right, bye. Bye.
Maybe Jason's the killer. He survived.
Jason.
Jason.
Maybe Sean put himself
what
in the
if?
grate.
Yeah.